Candid Conversation, and I am Dr. Sabiha, once again back with Friday Live Candid Conversation, and I'm very happy and proud because I'm having once again a very amazing guest today. That is Rohini Mundra, who is an entrepreneur, who is a TEDx speaker, who is an author, who is an influencer, and above all, she's the most beautiful influencer whom I love to watch her reels on Instagram, and her beautiful smile, the level of confidence which is being shown when she talks or when she delivers or something, and that's why once again a huge fan of her work and the way she represents her work. I would like to give some formal introduction. Vaidya 616, thank you for joining. Okay, as I said, she's a business coach, she's an author, she's an influencer, she's TEDx speaker and entrepreneur, Rohini Mundra. You should visit her Instagram profile. She has some beautiful content always popping out. Youngest Indian trainer to be conferred upon with a level 4 certification. Level 4 certification is considered the highest level of certification worldwide in the training and assessment domain. With a passion for training, she is also a corporate trainer with overall training expertise. She has trained across industries like ITes, and manufacturing, banking, service, retail, etc. That's beautiful. She is one person who is die-hard optimistic, who believes that life is absolutely beautiful and waiting to give you all that you can hold. She's committed to help you achieve your highest potential and become extraordinary. Awesome description. We have a lot to know about Rohini. How did she start her journey as an entrepreneur, as a coach, as a trainer? What obstacles did she face in this journey, And was there any moment she felt to give up, or any sort of obstacle which she must be having? How did she set her goals? What was her timeline? What was her model of excellence? How did she grow, or what are her future plans? A lot to know from her, which we will be knowing in this next 1 hour. So all those who will be watching this live or watching the recorded live version later, stay tuned and do drop in your questions for her, because one of the amazing personality on Instagram is loaded with lots of information. और जब आपको कोई जेन्यून बंदा मिलता है ना, जहाँ से एक जेन्यून इन्फॉर्मेशन मिल रही हो, देन यकीन मानो वो ब्लेसिंग होती है. Photographics 24, how are you? And yeah, Vaidya also, how are you? Do let me know. Once again, this live is for a guest. I'm waiting for her to join. Once she's joined, the Q&A starts. Even I guess she'll be okay with the comment sections on. तो हम आपके भी सवाल जवाब लेंगे. Basically, a coach talking to a coach who is very nicely established in the industry. Even I will be happy to get some beautiful tips from her about how beautifully she manages her personal and professional life. Hey, great ma'am, how about you? Photographic, I am fine, a bit occupied, bit busy with the work offline now being starting. So social media थोड़ा सा affect हो रहा है. Dhaval Gajera speaker, how are you, speaker? From where are you? Do let us know. Today we'll be having one more beautiful coach. Yeah, there she is. Thank you, ma'am, for joining. Let me send you a request. Rohini, ma'am, can you send me a request so that I accept it from here? Guys, stay tuned. Sometimes we get a glitch on Instagram because मैं तो यहाँ से भेज नहीं पा रही हूँ. हाँ, yeah, there I get her. That is.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having me here.
Oh, I always see you on reels. I always see your stories with all your bangles, and this is like wow, fan moment for me having you live.
अभी नहीं है.
Believe me, I'm a huge fan. I'm missing that. I do follow religiously, especially your stories, the Instagram stories. Very honest, very pure, lots of love in it.
Thank you.
I know I may sound very deep. I know I may sound very teenage at time, but आपकी stories देखो ना तो फिर I scroll till the end. It is something which is relatable, you know. You're so honest, you're so transparent, and it's amazing. It's amazing.
That's very kind of you. You know, हम लोग जब stories करते हैं, like I know that there are so many rules to doing them correct and doing them in a certain way. So initially, when I gotten on Instagram, it used to or any social media, it used to be such a task because I used to
I
hate coming
see.
on social media. And I was like, यार मतलब अभी post करना है तो I would be like you know क्यों करना है? And then the rule says that if it's your official account, you can't post things which is personal. But then I'm all the
Personal.
time like, this is my home, this is who I am, and if I'm not going to talk
Yeah.
about personal stuff, it's going to be so difficult, right? So it's really nice to be able to just share and be who you are. I think that's the rule, yeah. Just like be who you
Yeah.
are. And I remember seeing one of your posts as a matter of fact. I think this post was about 3-4 दिन पहले, and you were sharing about your marriage and the way you had put in the
Yeah.
picture. I
Yeah.
fell in love with how
Oh, thank
beautifully you
you.
shared it. And I think that's when I was like, okay, you know what, I actually would love to go and chat with you. You had sent me a request and I wasn't really able
Yeah.
to resist to it. And I said, chalo
Yeah.
karte hain. But also I think because of the connect and honesty with which you just put in things. So I think it was amazing that way.
Yeah. Very true. Even my team used to tell me कि मैम नीश पकड़ के कंटेंट डालो, ऐसा डालो वैसे डालो, ऐसे यार हटा सावन घटा, मुझे जो अच्छा लगे मैं डालूं. I need to be me. And yeah, you mentioned it very well. And I do model you. I do model you when it comes about posting content or when it comes about how to present yourself on Instagram. You know, for me being in my 40s, it was not easy. Trust me, it was very difficult initially. Coming back to you, Rohini, I did give an introduction from my side, but I would love to hear how would you love to know the world about you?
I would want the world to know about me as anything that they want to see me as. It actually really does not matter. But I think the only thing that I've always followed is, you know, to live my dream, to be who I am. I'm a very raw person. I'm a very raw person. I'm just somebody who's always believed that life is meant to be so much more. There's just so much more that than your ups and downs. There's just so much more than you know your failures and your job and the money that hits your bank account. And I feel like that's something that most people kind of forget. And I feel like even if anybody who sees me, and if that's something that they can pick up, कि आप कोई भी हो आप कहीं पर भी हो, you can do like some amazing thing as long as your heart is into it. I feel like that's good enough.
That's very nice. That's so humble. That's very humble. I where you were to where you are and where you want to go. So, lot to know about
I
you. And
cannot
this is very candid. Yeah,
I'm so
pardon?
sorry, but there seems to be a lot of internet glitch because you know it's constantly breaking. So I'm going to kind of
Yeah,
log off and log in again if that's okay.
no issues. Yeah, as it is, I also see you very blurred.
Yeah, I know because even I cannot see you very clearly. So I'm going to
और
log off and
आप इतने खूबसूरत हो, आप हमको क्लियर दिखने चाहिए.
that is, you know, a compliment coming from a woman is always a compliment that I will take up. You know, I'll be
Oh,
very happy about it.
yeah, yeah. Do
Give me a
fine,
minute.
do fine. I'll wait. Yeah,
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 I'm gonna try and log off and log in again. Give me a minute.
yeah, yeah. Guys, meanwhile, stay tuned. We have a very beautiful I remove this. Am I audible now? We can't hear you. Thank you, Diksha, for that. Diksha, am I audible now? No voice? अभी भी नहीं? Oh, thank you, Diksha. Thank you. That meant a lot, यार. अच्छा हुआ. Okay, okay. Arpita, you are audible now. ये निकाल दिया. Maybe there was some problem with this. Oh, Arpita, Diksha, thank you. That means a lot. We're waiting for Rohini to join back. As I said again. Okay, okay. Thank you, Arpita. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. अर्पिता लहेजा, आप कहाँ से हो? Where you are? तब तक हम तो बातें कर ही सकते हैं ना? By the time Rohini ma'am joins back. And meanwhile, also do visit her profile. Do visit her Instagram profile specifically with her content, with her reels, with the grace she comes. You know, with the grace she comes. It's quite better. Better है मतलब अच्छा नहीं है. Solapur, wow. Do you speak Marathi then? Arpita, do you speak Marathi? Niksha, also let us know. Let the audience know. आप क्या करते हो? आप कहाँ से हो? By the time ma'am joins back, because I love to interact with the people. Or root joined. अब ये or root का क्या मतलब होगा? I don't know. Oh yeah, she's there. She's there. अभी दुआ करो कि आज इंस्टाग्राम अच्छे से साथ दे. Oh, Diksha, you're from Ahmednagar, Maharashtra. Jai Maharashtra. Yeah, you're back.
I'm back. Yes, I'm actually glad that I'm back. I was just trying to figure this whole thing out, and I'm like, I couldn't hear you in between for some reason. So I was like, "So, मेरा system खराब होगा."
No, it was from the audience also. मैंने ये फिर निकाल दिया. It was from my side. It was now
Right.
now I'm audible?
Yes. Now, am I visible?
Yeah, very clearly, very clearly.
Okay, cool. I'm actually happy that I'm visible. So, Sabina, first of all, thank you so much for having me here. It's very kind of you. And I love your content. I don't know if the audience heard me say this before. I quite like the way you put across your life story out there. You also put something about your dad the other day, and you connected it to Twitter. It was quite interesting to see that. So it also got my attention, and I was like, "Chalo, let's just get on a talk and not talk about anything about my work, and let's just talk." And then I thought, "Okay, chalo,
Yeah,
let's just do something."
exactly. That's the purpose. That's why I tell it it's a candid conversation. आपको लगे कि किसी follower से अभी बात करनी है, किसी का सवाल लेना है, फिर because I think Instagram is my second home, my second family, and the way the audience is helping me to grow on this platform is amazing.
Right.
Amazing. So let me ask my first question to you.
Yes.
Was it always a planned thing for you to do what you're doing, or it was an accidental thing happening in your life?
I am a through and through charming entrepreneur. I had never thought that I would become an entrepreneur. I never thought I'd become a coach. I never thought I would even use my speaking skills anywhere, to be very honest. In fact, I didn't think I had any wisdom in me. Forget about speaking skills and becoming a coach. I am normally a very short tempered person, and I'm always like, extremely hyper and trying to like run through things. But and I also remember when I was quite young, your parents take you to pundits and they'll take you to astrologers. So I remember showing my hand, and I remember that person telling me that I'm going to go into politics or become a teacher. And I was like, "Acha." I said, "There's nowhere I'm going to ever do that." But surprisingly, it's quite accurate, serendipity or you call it whatever you call it. And I had taken up a job like anybody else. I was trying to explore my life. I was about 20, got out of college, wanted to explore things. And then I got fired from my job. So that is something that is the truth. I did really well the first year of my job, and then I sucked at it after that. My second job, which was in sales, I was terrible at it. I mean, the same job for which I had actually won a gold medal in sales, the same job I got fired from. And I think that was when, life actually started happening. You start figuring out, कि अच्छा ठीक है, it's not as easy as it used to be in college, and not everybody is your friend the way they used to be in college, and Now people have ulterior motives, and money does that to you, right? Money and success kind of gets you to plan everything, and सब शतरंज ही जैसे हो जाता है. So I think I got fired and then I stayed at home and I didn't know what to do. So I freelanced my ass off for a very long time. I was like, ये भी try करते, वो भी try करते. I wanted to become an interior designer. I wanted to become an air hostess. I wanted to become, I got into manufacturing. I think I tried everything under the roof until one of my best friends then came up to me and he's like, let's start a business together. And I was like, yeah, मैं कुछ कर तो रही हूँ नहीं, but ठीक है, I mean, let's just start it and then we'll figure it out. And then that happened. So earlier, I think it was just a business. It was just a business. It was really nothing else. कि पैसे कमाने हैं, कुछ करना है life में. But with time, things happen to change so much. You grow, you understand what is life all about, you understand so many things, and which is something I think a lot of people that you and I meet also are always thinking that life is very, it's very very straight. It's very ABCD karenge. We will finish college, get married, get out of college, and then have some babies or build a house. But I feel life is not that. There's just so much more, and I gave my chance to kind of explore that. That what did I want to do? The times when I hit a low, there was nobody around to really help. The whole coaching started now in the last 5 years, probably, right? उससे पहले तो कोच नाम का तो कुछ था ही नहीं, nothing at all, right? And that I think got me to thinking that why not I be the help that the world needs? Why not I push myself to do what I want to do? And I just realized I was good at it. Honestly, that was it. My first couple of sessions, I realized people were actually listening to me, and I was 24, 23, I guess. So I was a child, and people were still listening, and I was like, every time I would talk, I would feel like I'm genuinely able to add some value. Like, and I genuinely wanted to. After that 6 mahina, no, I genuinely wanted to add value. I really wanted to know, okay, did I help? Did I help? Was I able to do something for you? And I think years down, that's become my story. And I live to see my participants succeed. I live to see them grow. And that's my biggest high. In fact, now, I was actually having a pretty crappy evening. I was like just bumped about things, just irritated. I'm sitting on my system and I'm irritated. And I'm like, I know after I do this live video, I'll feel better. I just know it. I just know that, my spirits will lift and I'll feel happier and I'm going to go back home if, being happy with everybody else. So that kind of purpose is fun, Yazavina. That kind of purpose is amazing. And I feel that kind of purpose people should find. People should look forward to doing things which is beyond money, to doing things and understanding that the person who's joking next to you might also have so much to add value to you. But are you aligned? Are you spiritually and mentally and physically aligned to receiving? And the universe is going to give you so much. The universe is going to teach you so much. It's going to give you signs. It's going to give you opportunities. It's going to give you people. Are you ready to open up and kind of, take that in and soak that in? And I think because I did, I feel like I've managed to do so much more that I love. I mean, I'm not at all, in that whole world of being successful, being big. I don't see myself that way, but I'm happy. And I feel that is something that people need to understand, that you need to be happy with who you are and where you are.
So nice. What I relate the most, Rohini, was when you said कि 5 साल पहले कोच नाम का कोई चीज ही नहीं। जिंदगी है, वक्त से सब सीख लोगे, हो जाता है, ऐसा तो सब होता ही है। You will just learn. That was the simple line. You have सादा सर्दी के डॉक्टर के पास जाना बहुत नॉर्मल था। But I have some confusion. I need clarity, and I don't want that clarity to be solved by friends and mommy, papa. I want to go to a profession. This thing never exists. Just Netflix never exists or Amazon never exists. This industry never exists. But I'm happy now. People like you are there.
And people like you. And people like you are doing some amazing things also.
It's actually, Rohini, from being a doctor to being a full-time life coach, as you said, nothing is planned. What was planned never happened. What is happening was never planned. So, and sitting in Pune, I'm talking to a girl. I'm sure you're in Delhi, right?
I am from
Bangalore,
Bangalore.
Bangalore. Yeah,
Bangalore is
it's my
home.
baat.
Oh,
Nahi
really?
रहेगी. Yeah, it's my Belgaum is my Mecca, and
Arey
Bangalore
wow.
is all my cousins, all my cousins.
When you are in Bangalore, we shall do a nice cup of coffee and talk about our clients.
Absolutely, absolutely. And do you speak and understand Kannada there?
Kannada, everybody calls it Kannada, and I don't know why. But Kannada, yes, of course. I mean, this is home, so I mean that's something that I probably you can't escape Kannada.
That's so sweet. That's sweet. Because my medical college is from Belgaum, and then we had this. Belgaum is always on the border, right? There was a Marathi students, there were Kannada students, and they used to ask me, "Uta to." Then I used to figure out, okay, they're asking me at post lunch, but then मेरे को खाने को पूछना है. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Good, you
So
didn't think it's you didn't Hesuru Enu and tell your name when they asked you Utaitu.
yeah. Then I just said, yeah. And then चलो इतना and then सब अच्छा है ना.
I
So
like the way,
everyone
you know, when we don't know languages, it's so funny how a certain
is
word or a certain language sounds so alien from another person's mouth, even though what they're saying is correct, right. And that explanation, it just, I think it's, oops. And that explanation is actually quite interesting. But yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
fun. So, do your audience have any questions? Do my audience have any questions? I think it'll be nice to answer if they have any
Yeah.
questions or if you
There
have
was
any
one.
questions.
There was one. Hi Rohini, how are you managing your personal life and work?
My personal life is as big a workaholic as I am. I think they're all sitting here and working along with me. So I recently got married, right? Which a couple of you might not know or you all might know. I think it's been amazing. The entire experience has been amazing. One of the secrets of managing your personal life, and I know ki this is not applicable to people who are in jobs, but at least people who are independent, who are having their own, businesses or own practices or have that space. I think one of the key is to understand and utilize flexibility like flexibility. This whole thing where people they become entrepreneurs and then they're just guilty of going for a movie on a Tuesday afternoon or starting their day late because they're spending time at home with a book or with their loved ones or taking off in the afternoon and saying what I just need time by myself, so going to a coffee shop and doing what you love, listening to music. That kind of flexibility is very important. I believe that most people don't use that kind of flexibility, which is why they keep saying that, work is too much, I'm not able to find time, I'm not able to do anything, I'm not able to explore anything because it's so hard to manage personal and professional life. And I say it's actually not. You just have to come out of that whole bracket of 9 to 6 is work and 8 to morning 6 is sleep. And the other time is something else, or I just get 2 hours with my family, or I just get 1 hour of Netflix. And I'm like, that's your choice. And that is something you really need to break to really bring in that kind of balance. So to every single one of you, I genuinely want to tell you this, that use the element of flexibility well in your life. Zaruri nahi hai that you need to feel guilty every time you go out or you remove time to yourself or you meet your friends 3 days in a row. You don't have to be guilty. Guilt is one of the biggest reasons why you don't explore your true self well. So that, my dear, is my secret to managing my personal and professional life. So that's something that's worked very well for me.
That is so nice. Very true also, ना. फालतू में हम गिल्ट लेके बुरा मानेंगे and then बाद
True,
में
very
इधर
true.
इधर भी बुरा लगता है उधर भी बुरा लगता है.
Correct. I mean, when was the last you took off, Sabina? If I'll ask you, when was the last you took a break and just slept at home in your bed 3 days continuously without feeling guilty?
Oh no.
Right? So
एटलीस्ट
you'll
कुछ
be
ना
like,
कुछ कंटेंट तो ब्रेन में चलता ही रहता है. कुछ
correct.
भी
Then,
यार स्टोरी
yeah, you'll
चलती
be
है,
like, yeah,
कंटेंट चलती है.
या नेक्स्ट लाइव कब करना है, या इस क्लाइंट को कोचिंग कब देना है, या फिर ये स्ट्रैटेजी कहाँ लर्न करनी है, एंड दैट्स अ कन्वर्सेशन आई एम श्योर यू आर हैविंग विद यू ऑल द टाइम.
Absolutely. And my daughter is 18, Rohini. I should tell you. She said, Mama, I want mama. I don't want a coach. Stop that. Stop the conversation. Then we decided, okay, time please. अभी कोई discussion नहीं होएगा. When we are not two, she loves to ride with me. And she said, Mama, सामने बैठ के अगर आप खामोश हो, मतलब she's like, you are thinking something. Stop thinking. So yeah, I get your point. I get your point. And it's a
Yeah.
struggle between being a mother and being a coach, being a boss. It's a huge thing. It's a huge thing. There's
Yeah.
one more
I,
question, Rohini, for you. Shall I take that?
I'm sorry.
There's one more question. Shall I
Yes,
take?
yes. By all means.
Yeah. What was the one biggest obstacle you had when you started? When you started the, I'm not able to articulate that word here. What was the basically the question is what was the one biggest obstacle you faced when you started this journey of as a coach, mentor, trainer?
Hmm. I I think one of the biggest obstacle, it might sound a little cliche, but one of the biggest obstacle that I experienced, in fact, there were so many, but was my age. One of the biggest, as a matter of fact. It used to be quite a challenge for me, for people to understand that I am an expert in what I do. It doesn't matter how young or old I am, because I started really early. I started when I was 23, 24. I started coaching when I was about 24, 25. I think timelines are very hazy, but most people will be like, "बच्ची है तो उनको क्या सिखाएगी?" And
I
even when I used
yeah.
to, yeah, and I used to be like, okay, maybe I actually don't know about the world as much. So I used to go and read like crazy. I used to be this voracious reader, and I used to read every book from business etiquettes to books about, on spirituality to books on many lives, many masters to books on, the next in line manager. And then I used to write them down so that I could quote them so I would sound smarter. So that they wouldn't question me. In fact, there was this time and I remember I used to, because I used to go on these trainings and I wanted to look older, which no woman would want. But yes, I would want to look older. So I would wear this jhola bag, like this jhola I used to wear, and I used to put powder in my hair. I actually used to do that. I used to take one sari and I used to wear like these big cotton saris and something that would make me look bigger and broader. And I used to like tie up my hair in bun and then put powder just so that people don't question me on my age. And that, when too many people do that, it kind of hits your confidence. You're like, are you good? Are you not good? What are you going to do? Can you do this? Can you pull this off? So that I think one of the initially, at least at the starting time, was one of the biggest obstacles. Of course, I had the other obstacles of where will I find the money? How will I do sales? How am I going to sustain this? Without a team, how am I going to figure? I'm not really an expert. A lot of those conversations, but it was really funny about how my age became such a big thing. Also, being a woman, I think, was difficult. I know for a fact that when I started doing live events and when I used to have like these 200 people in my events, 300 people on an every weekend basis, this was before the COVID. I used to do a lot of live events, right? I used to have a lot of people come and threaten me. Like they would just arm twist me saying ki, aap na, whatever I'm asking you, you will have to, give me that as a coach. And I have invested in your program. You bloody better do what I'm asking you to do. And I used to be like, just because I'm a woman, you can actually arm twist me. And it was true. They actually would. And then I realized, so I had to hire, one of my team members who would look like this bouncer and walk around. And I could actually see a difference in people's behavior. Whether we like it or no, people think women are just weak. So they can like corner them, they can threaten them. And the moment you have like a man standing next to you, now unka behavior ही change हो जाता है. So that is something that I definitely experienced in my entire journey, which is really funny and things that I kind of
I
remember.
know, I know. But that's great. That's amazing and very true. Because I don't think so. Coach should be defined by age. Coach is a coach. Like my daughter is 18, but my some serious problems, I do talk to her and I get her perspective. And the way she questions me, then my brain goes and I think so. It doesn't matter because she is studying psychology. So I think why can't I take her perspective? So I strongly don't understand how the age and the perspective goes together. But yeah, I can relate. And I'm happy you could overcome it so nicely, so nicely. That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's a very personal question. Can I ask,
You can ask me any question.
how did you fall in love?
How did I fall in? I have
I love
fallen in
this
love
answer.
more number of times than I can count. Like the number of relationships I've had has been crazy. I started dating when I was 19. That's when I
Oh,
had
my
first
daughter should hear
crush.
this.
Yeah, your daughter is about 18, right? I'm sure she's got like the secret boyfriend that she's not telling you about. But so I started dating when my first boyfriend was at the age of 19, and it was a long distance after my first year. But then I had my best friend. I met him when I was about 17 or something. That's when I met my best friend who's been with me throughout the journey and who's been with me throughout one boyfriend after another boyfriend, seeing me
Ah,
break
so
down, seeing me figure things out. And when I was 19, he proposed to me, or when I was 18, he proposed to me. And I told him that no, I don't feel that for you. It's not something that I feel for you at all. And he had then gone to UK, and he came back, with this ring which he saved money. He used to get this money to have his lunch. So he used to have half lunch and he used to save half that money because he was a student there. And then he picked up this ring for me. He came back and he went on his knee and he proposed to me. And I said, okay. I took the ring. After 1 week, I said, nahi ho raha hai. I'm sorry. I am not in love with you. But I kept the ring. Like, I'm going to keep the ring. You're my best friend. And it's like, my symbol of our friendship. But in all honesty, I tried and it didn't happen. And then I've done my share of relationships until I think after I hit 30. I was quite broken as far as relationships were concerned. I have experienced a lot of shit in relationships. I've experienced, my boyfriends cheating on me. I've experienced them walking all over me. I've experienced, them, lying and falling out of love. And just like any other person, I think I was heartbroken about it. But I wanted to hold on. And I didn't realize that it became toxic for me after a point, and so giving up became quite a challenge. Um, and then I think by the time I was 30, I honestly thought I was quite broken. I was really very messed up with my relationship, basket. And every time somebody would say, get married, I would be like, acha, theek hai. So I would see guys, I would, go through that whole process of arranged marriage. But it never really happened for me because I was internally quite broken. I was very messed up and I was very toxic in a lot of ways myself because I was eager to find, my Prince Charming. I was desperate for it. So I wasn't really making the right choices. And in the process, my best friend, I think, proposed to me so many times that he got pissed with me and stopped talking to me. Then about 2 years ago, he came back and he's like, we kind of reconnect. Not 2 years, 3 years ago, we reconnected. And he's like, you've always been the love of my life and you've always been the person. And I said, I'm sorry, I don't feel that for you. And then a year and a half ago, I looked at him one day. We were sitting and having coffee, and I looked at him and I'm like, let's get married. And he looks at me and he's like, are you like serious? I said, yeah, I mean, I'm like, if you're here, there has to be a reason why you're here. But it'll be an arranged marriage. Our parents will get involved only if they say okay. He's like, rubbish. He's like, you are like my destiny, and I'm anyway going to figure out today or tomorrow or whatever. And then I just fell in love with him after that. And then we got married. So I said, if for 17, 18 years he's been like there, then maybe he's the one.
amazing. Oh, I'm so happy I did ask this question. I had never planned in my questions list. मुझे बस ऐसे लगा कि मैंने पूछ लेना चाहिए. या तो हाँ, या तो बताएंगे आप या तो नहीं बताएंगे. Oh, but this is amazing. You're so honest. You're so
No,
honest.
it's in fact we got engaged with the ring that he gave me 16, 17 years ago. So that was the ring that he actually
Amazing.
used, and we got engaged with it. And I don't really feel married. I feel like I'm just gonna live in with my best friends.
Yeah, yeah, I can understand that absolutely because it's like 17 years already you have been together. लोगों की
Yeah,
शादी के बाद 20 साल हो जाते हैं यार. Yeah,
yeah, we've
and
been
17
together.
years both must be like a transparent book to each other. You know, हर पन्ना पता है.
I
हर
think
पन्ने पे क्या लिखा है पता है.
I think the most healthiest thing is, I can sit here and look at another guy and say, this guy is so good looking
I
and I have a crush on
swear.
him. And he's like, shall I go and speak to him for you? And it's like the fun things. Or, the fact
So,
that we know each other for so long that there is not too much formality. I truly believe, I truly believe I've manifested him in my in-laws. I genuinely believe that from the bottom of my heart because I've heard so much about, how toxic in-laws can be or how controlling they can be or how they can just be on different pages in terms of the age and in terms of the time and all of that. I think my in-laws are such godsend. I would sit and do coffee with dad and spend 2 hours chatting with him, or like I keep telling mom, let's go to a spa and let's chill there, and or he or my family. So I feel like I've just got an extension to it, and I feel it's just such a manifestation to everything that I've ever thought I would want.
oh, Rohini, then you're blessed. And I'm
I
jealous.
feel
Oh,
that.
because you saying
No.
lost, so I went in a flashback of 20 years back. I had all the SARS drama in my life. Trust me, कोई picture बन जावे. But I'm so happy because it does.
Thanks.
Marriage is a package, you know. It's not only one individual. It's his entire environment, your environment coming together. Your passion, your work, your relationship, his work, his passion, his relationships. It's not like one individual to other individual. So proud of you, really. I never knew this part of you. Though I follow your content, I know your business sort of group, you know. That चेहरा मुझे पता है. This I maybe absolutely know. I
If
like when
anything, if
कि
anything,
मैं किसी बंदे
Bia.
की देखी तो मैं बोल दूं कि ये मुझे पसंद आ गया है.
No, but if anything, you have an audience that connects with you from a space of relationship and marriage, right? Because
Yeah.
you have a following where that's what you are teaching, and if you can tell your audience and really genuinely teach them that they can manifest anything that they want, absolutely anything that they want, they just need to really, really believe in it because another thing is, I come from a Marwadi family where I have always been taught that, after marriage, things will be different. After marriage, you will become a daughter in law. After marriage, your in laws will not understand. And I always remember sitting there and saying, you know what, that's not true. I am going to get in laws who are going to be my friends and not my in laws. I will find people who will not push me to change but will, merge with who I am. And I truly feel like what I have today is really such a manifestation. And I look at a lot of marriages, and I know I'm still quite young in my marriage, but I look at a lot of marriages and I say that you still have the power to manifest what you want. Don't jump into a marriage, don't rush into a marriage, but understand that marriage will be way more than just husband and wife. It really has to be about your dark side rather than just your bright side. And it's going to be so much more than just your husband or your wife. And the moment you can expand that, I feel it's just going to be really, really it's just such a blessing. So if that is something you can teach your audience about how they can manifest what they want, I think the world's just going to be a much happier place.
Very true. Very true. Oh, that was lovely. That was lovely. I have one more question. I hope I have your time yet. It's
Yes,
20:35. Do let me
don't
know.
worry
Do
at
let
all.
me know. Yeah. Yeah. The question is, how do you see the coaching industry, the future of coaching industry, especially with India?
I think it is one. Okay, so I'll give you an answer in a different way. Every time you go online, if you can see somebody coming and telling you, do you want to become a coach? Or I am someone who can help you with your digital marketing, or I'm someone who can help you with the stock market, or I'm a coach who is, your productivity coach, or I'm a coach for your career. that is proof that this industry is growing like crazy. The more players there are, it means that there is more demand because supply and demand has to go hand in hand. And the more you can see that it's getting saturated, everybody is doing a webinar, everybody is doing an event. They are because there is that much of a need, there is that much of a calling. Unlike a US, India is still at the growing stage, still at a nascent stage as far as coaching industry is concerned. Yes, it is not the way it used to be about 2 years ago, but that's okay. It is still growing because we are a population of 1.3 billion, yeah. And at the end of the day, if you can coach in your local language, if you can coach, with your life experience, if you can bring in a certain amount of niche, I think it's an industry where you can make it really big. But the ones who are starting now, I would really suggest you to focus more on the digital offerings that you have for your clients. Like, you can have your do-it-yourself kits, or you can have online programs that they can just, pick up, or you can activate your email marketing lists and get people to get active. You can teach them anything you want, but do not undermine the importance or the role that your digital space is going to play. And India is one of the fastest growing industries as far as coaching is concerned. So, for all the coaches here, if you are somebody who is in this game and in this for the long haul, the number of followers you have is not going to be the parameter. What was going to matter
Absolutely.
is how long you are going to be able to sustain, how much more offerings that you have, which is a long-term game, and collaborate. This is something that I truly believe is something that I am guilty of not doing. I have in fact not collaborated at all with anybody, and it's not something that I'm proud about. It's just not something that fell in my entire process because of so many other commitments. But collaborate with people who are like-minded, collaborate with people who have 200 followers, collaborate with people who have 2,000 followers, collaborate with people who have 20,000 followers, collaborate with people because together there's just so much more you can do in this industry. So it's huge, and it's something that's going to stay for sure.
I'm a fan of you who says age matters. Yeah, what a beautiful piece of knowledge you shared about social media, about collaboration. Oh, it helps. It helps. Because you did mention social media, seriously want to ask one again the question. See, when you said it doesn't matter number of followers, how many people are following you. When you started this journey of Instagram or what's your Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, to from where you were to where you are, how did you deal with the troll of part of it?
ट्रोलिंग तो अभी भी होता है. I mean, that is something you have to live with. I mean, the first time I got trolled, I got very uncomfortable. I remember the thing about social media is, and this is what I say, that you cannot bank on one platform, right? For example,
Hmm.
my Facebook has about 60, 70 or thousand followers, and that it had about 3 years ago. And then I've completely stopped being active on Facebook because Facebook is not my space anymore, and Instagram's picking up. And then I moved to Instagram, and I didn't want to move to Instagram, but I did I think about 2 years ago. I can't quite remember. But trolling, wahan pe bhi, yahan pe bhi, trolling is a part of anything and everything. And one of the best things that people like to use is that, all your coaches are running a scam. And I'm like, and that is because they like, आ जाते हो, मतलब आपके ज्ञान से थोड़ी कुछ होने वाला है. And then I laugh and I'm like, किसी के ज्ञान से तो होने वाला है ना. अब मेरे ज्ञान से नहीं होने वाला है तो किसी के ज्ञान से तो होने वाला है. आप महात्मा गांधी का ज्ञान ही ले लो अगर आपको वो समझ में आए तो. But what I really need people to understand is that, knowledge is something that anybody needs in order to grow. However, the word scam has become such a loosely used word, when especially because of the digital era, because they don't have to come in front of you and tell you that, right? Or people come and say that, you know uh, तुम कल की बच्ची हमको क्या सिखाओगी, or people are like,
As
or people are like, oh, just because you're beauty, you think people are going to listen to you. Oh, all these beautiful people think they can start coaching. Or, the trolls are never ending, and they're really funny. And yeah, I think it's just really funny.
basically what they don't have, what a person is having in one package, कभी कभी शायद jealousy बोल जाती है ना कि एक इंसान के पास सब कुछ कैसे हो सकता है, वो हजम नहीं भी होता होगा. Yeah,
Well, I
very true.
also think that it is just because they have nothing else to do. Like nothing else to do. I like it that you hate me, but you wait for me because you wait for me on
Yeah.
Instagram to see what I'm doing, but you hate me. So I'm like, that's okay. It's totally okay. In fact, we have a wall of hate at my office. I actually have a wall of hate where everybody's funny hate comments, we've taken printouts of it and we've turned it into like a kick-ass collage. So it's really funny to watch there.
This is a super idea, and I officially tell that I'll copy it and I'll mention the board now. Because शायद किसी दिन वही piece of content because I do upload content, sex related content also. Being a doctor and a coach, I do put videos, I do put a content when it comes to sex, and even Instagram gave us twice notice that your account will be banned, and I was
Oh,
wondering because being a doctor for us to call vagina and a penis हमको शर्म नहीं आती है ना तो अभी शर्मा के कैसे समझाया जाए आई डोंट नो बट नाउ माय टीम इज कि तभी प्रिंट निकालो कट आउट करो और रख दो
by all means. I, in fact, would keep getting trolled because I would use the word fuck you or I would use the word if call that bitch a bitch. I do that a lot between all my sessions. So I remember people saying, well, are you trying to like act really cool by saying that word? And I'm like, no, I'm just trying to express myself by saying that word. But if I was a man, I would be allowed to use that word with ease. But because I'm a woman, I'm not allowed to use that word. So you get a lot of like, different people. But I think as a coach,
so
word say who you are.
yeah that is so honest जब मैंने I remember my first meal was on orgasm and then my immediate family and my friends forget Instagram troll तो घर ही से चालू हो गया था family in the sense the cousins sisters कि sex वाला bedroom तक ठीक था अभी आप social media पे भी जाके बोल रहे हो तो I said when you are करते जो काम हो if I'm talking on a dress बिना किए आपके मम्मी पापा ने भी किया है तभी आप आए हो वरना आते भी नहीं
Yeah, I think the world needs to understand, like, and I think this is being told so many times that we are a land of the Kama Sutra. We are a land where sex has been spoken about and done the most, but behind closed doors. And I think that is something that people really need to open up to, and people need to understand that. For a woman to talk about it or for a man to talk about it in open is just something that is going to it's going to be a part of our lives and it's going to be something that we need to be okay with. So I think people who troll can troll. I in fact know of a coach who actually coaches on orgasm. She is a true and I will actually share the details with you. She talks about how to build your relationship with sex and with orgasm and how to build your relationship with enjoying your time with yourself and the points of pleasure and all of it. And she does it in such a sensual way. She merges the whole femininity with this whole element of how do you approach this entire thing. It's beautiful, and I feel like as long as you can package it well, you can speak anything that you want.
Very true. I remember I had a live with Dr. There's a Dr. Nivedita on Instagram. I met again on Instagram the way I'm interacting with you. I had at least 4 to 5 lives. And she's one very graceful lady explaining, because being again a doctor and a coach, she explains the pleasant part of sex very nicely. And ट्रोल इतना ज्यादा था उस लाइव में आ सब रहे थे इतना कि 4-5 लोगों ने उस लाइव को रिपोर्ट कर दिया then I got a notice on Instagram कि आपका ये लाइव अपलोड नहीं होगा I don't know what went wrong but as you said yeah it is something which when we do we can talk if you don't
You could be
don't talk
known for all the controversies in the world, Sahiba. You could be known for being like the most controversial, sex therapist in the world. The world will still have a problem. You can teach them everything about pleasure and they will still give you pain for it. So it doesn't really matter who has to say what. I think you just need to live and believe in what you want to believe. And the ones who need help will anyway find you.
Anyways, fine, absolutely. And that is one super niche I have. कि मुझे ऐसा लगता है रात में 2 बजे भी कोई बोले ना कि चलो talk on orgasm, talk on ejaculation, talk on fountains, and I'm just bang on star. My daughter is like, Mama, आपको खुली छूट मिल गई अभी. But yeah, I do enjoy. I do enjoy. Rohini,
And I want to go through your work. It sounds something that's quite exciting, and I'm definitely going to take a look at it.
Please, you love it. You love it. Because, Rohini, trust me, I got married when I was 26. At least 35 तक orgasm होता क्या ये नहीं पता था मुझे. मुझे पता ही नहीं था कि ये ऐसा होता भी है, ऐसा कुछ होता है. There are some sex toys, or I can explore myself and I can have my orgasm to them. तो मुझे ना तब से लगी पड़ी है कि मैं हर लड़की को बताऊं कि such thing exists, Don't waste your time. Enjoy it as early as possible. And yeah, big story short, that is my Dukti Rag now. Dukti
I
Rag.
think it sounds amazing. There are just so many people who would benefit so much from your teachings and your learning. So I think it sounds amazing. I can wish you nothing but luck and nothing but like immense luck in whatever you want to do.
Thank you. And as you said, I'll be manifesting now because I was a bit scared when I got twice notice from Instagram ki ban hoga, ban hoga, ban hoga. Then I was like scared. Then I do follow Seema Anand. फिर मैंने बोला यार इनका अकाउंट चला है और उनको भी 2 बार बैन का वो आया था notice. So I said bullshit यार अपन अपना काम कर रहे हैं ना. The way you said ना manifest करो. So that
Yeah.
really clicked me. That's why I'm narrating this कि नहीं I should be back with my content. And then मैंने इस content को ना ऐसे side में रख दिया. थोड़ा सा careful रहूं, ना डालूं, blah blah blah. But thank you for that manifestation वाला part. That really triggered me कि I should continue with what I'm doing. That means a lot. That means a lot.
Absolutely. That's your purpose, that's your calling. Don't give up.
So, Rohini, before we say bye to each other,
Thank
some amazing piece of advice to my audience. What is that you want to give them, or how should they plan their careers, their business, their future? How should they have a time? Anything piece of advice from you?
I think the one thing that I will say, which is based on our conversation today, I think the only thing that I want to leave you and people who watch it tomorrow or whoever comes across this is that don't be scared to reach out for what you feel you deserve. A lot of times, business and success and strategies can only come after you've taken that first step, after you've been consistent in the journey and after you've been persistent in that journey. So don't be scared to reach out, no matter what it is, no matter who it is, right? Intimidation or fear of failure cannot be the story of our lives. And that is something that I would want to tell every single one of you, whether it's Ronak here or Vidya here or, Bleswani here or whoever joined in. And I'm genuinely telling this to all of you all because the moment you are scared to reach out for something, you've already lost the battle because you've never given yourself that chance to push yourself to see if this is really something that you want to do or are capable of doing, right? So everything else comes secondary, guys. Everything else. For you to even make $1 million, you first need to want and speak about it and believe that you can bloody make it. The moment someone says, oh, tum to karodpati ban jaoge, and if you laugh about it, well, then the universe is going to laugh at you about it and not give it to you. So whoever you are, whatever it is that you want to do, whether, like Karina, you've spoken about how, sex education is something that you're very passionate about telling people and, educating them, whether it's something as controversial as that or something, sorry. Whether even my phone doesn't want to listen about sex. So anyway, so whether something like that or something as small as just picking up a house, I'm truly going to say that reach for the stars, don't be scared, and then you will know what you're truly capable of.
That's amazing. I remember I had kept a message for you. I was like bit hesitant कि मैंने message डालना चाहिए कि नहीं डालना चाहिए. I just DM'd you. And then you said कि we'll have next week. And then next week came, I just again messaged you. And the way what you said now is very true. थोड़ा था hesitation whether you will agree, whether you will not agree. I had no idea. Other than me knowing you from your content, I had no idea. What I like the most about the live Rohini is what you are on social media, you are naturally.
Yay!
That's
As
the best part.
a
That's the best part. I seriously had one guest, Rohini, not bitch, but थोड़ा सा gossip चलता है. I had one guest in my life. I was like wondering मैंने क्या और क्यों इनको बुला दिया. Because My page has a value, yeah. My page has a value where the person has to be kuch nahi to be honest, you know. Just be
True, true,
yourself.
true.
Yeah. जैसे आप
Absolutely.
रील दिख रहे हो या जैसे आप स्टोरी में दिख रहे हो, अगर वैसे सच में मिलने के बाद नहीं लगा तो नहीं कनेक्शन लगता है ना. I could talk to you about sex, I could talk to you about my daughter, I could talk to you about my husband, my work. I feel कि yeah, it's true, you connect very easily, very very easily. Long way to go. Long way to go.
Very kind of you. And I do believe that one of the ways of making your work easy is to be who you are behind the camera, in front of the camera. And I think
हाँ,
that is something a lot of people keep forgetting to do. So I'm very grateful for that. It's such a validation for me
हाँ,
that, I am who I am and I'm okay being that. And I don't need to be and have these facades all over. So I think that's such
हाँ.
kind things to say, Shalina. And I am going to look forward to seeing you succeed, seeing you grow. And of course, I'll always be there for whatever you need. And I'm sure you will be there for whatever I need. So the next time I have a
Absolutely.
challenge, I'm going to hit you up and vice versa.
Absolutely, Rohini. God bless you always. Be so
Thank
beautiful,
you.
be so charming. मैं लड़का होती तो आज रात की डेट मेरी पक्की थी आपके साथ. I'm
That's
very
very kind
happy.
of you.
And do take care
Done.
of
Yeah.
yourself.
You take
Do
care
take
too.
care of
God bless
yourself.
you. Thank you for having me here.
Bye
Thank you
bye.
so much for watching, guys. Take care. God bless you all. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Yeah, guys, that was Rohini with us. It was such a heart-to-heart talk. A person whom I met with her the very first time on live. मैंने जैसे बताया ना, मुझे कंटेंट के अलावा उनके बारे में कुछ नहीं पता था, लेकिन जब भी उनका कंटेंट इंस्टाग्राम पे देखती हूँ तो मुझे हमेशा लगता था एक बारी तो मिलना चाहिए, एक बारी तो लाइव पे बुलाना चाहिए, स्पेशली हर स्टोरीज एंड द वे शी इज, यू नो व्हाट शी इज. ऐसे शख्स बहुत कम मिलते हैं और जब मिलते हैं तो कनेक्ट बनाए रखना चाहिए, क्योंकि चेहरे पे कुछ रहता है, अंदर कुछ रहता है. दिस ऑल इज सो वेरी डिफिकल्ट. So guys, I'm so sorry for not taking anybody's names today. Usually जब solo live आती हूँ तो it's interaction with you guys. But today it was with Rohini, hearing all about Rohini, the work, her personal life, her professional life, and best was she was so honest. She was so honest. That is the beauty of today's life. So guys, stay tuned, be happy, stay blessed, take care of yourself, and keep following my content. Do keep following her content. I do come up with content on career, relationship, and sex. Recently, my Twitter thread, which was a story about my dad, it crossed 1 million impressions. So it was amazing. मैं एक साल से कंटेंट डाल रही हूँ गाइस. एक साल से मुझे लगता था यार मेरा कंटेंट तो कहीं पहुंचता ही नहीं है. But when the same story I did upload on Twitter, it was about my dad who met a individual. पढ़ लेना आप वो thread उधर. But वो 1 million cross हो गया. Hindustan Times approached us, NDTV approached us, London Top, the video channel approached us for taking this course on their stories. So I'm happy my content is being liked by everyone. Swapnil Kapil Dev, can you make any course? Yes, I can make course. On what topic do you want me to make a course? Do let me know. Swami Kapil Dev. Currently, I have a course on communication skills, how to communicate effectively. That is my current course. And future will be having level 1, level 2, and level 3, all about communication, whether it be career, whether it be sex, or whether it be relationship. So yeah, that's how we have दीपेंद्र. आई सी स्टिल 3 people request on live, but अभी आज नहीं. हम जब संडे लाइव करते हैं तो इट इज ऑल अबाउट यू एंड मी. Need little conversation regarding making course for school students. Oh, that will be amazing because अगर आप मेरा पेज देखोगे ना तो currently we had a workshop at KJ Somaiya, स्वामी कपिल देव. KJ Somaiya पे हमारा कोर्स हुआ था. It was all about communications, how to improve your communication skills, and also there is an organization called as पर्यावरण संवर्धन. उनके साथ तो 8 हमारे सेशंस हुए हैं. Can you please support me with few inputs on how to get work-life balance? Ilan Chennai, yes, I can support you. And inputs, I guess Rohini ma'am gave it very well. कि जब work life कर रहे हो तो personal life को what she said was, when your work life is going on, don't have a guilt कि आप पर्सनल लाइफ को ध्यान नहीं दे रहे हो. एंड व्हेन यू आर विद योर पर्सनल लाइफ, डोंट हैव अ गिल्ट कि आप इधर ध्यान नहीं दे रहे हो. दैट वाज हर पीस ऑफ एडवाइस. लेट मी नो व्हाट इनपुट्स डू यू वांट एक्चुअली. और नहीं होता है यार वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस। हम ह्यूमन बीइंग है, कौन से हम मशीन्स है कि वॉश रिंस स्पिन ड्राई, ऐसे थोड़ी होता है। किसी दिन ऑफिस सफर होगा, किसी दिन रिश्ते सफर होंगे। वी आर ह्यूमंस, वी आर बॉर्न टू मेक मिस्टेक्स, और आज की मिस्टेक से सीख लिया तो अगली बारी नहीं रिपीट करना है। बस वो गलती आप ही की गलती आप रिपीट ना करो। मेरे हिसाब से ये मेरा सबसे बड़ा इनपुट है टू टेक केयर ऑफ योर वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस। इलन चेन्नई, यू सेड नहीं होता वर्क, हाँ नहीं होता है। एटलीस्ट आई हैव टू बी ऑनेस्ट। सात आई वॉज आउट, देन आई हैड अ क्लाइंट एंड दीक्षा, 7 बजे मैंने दूध रखा था गर्म करने। वी आर इन पीजी हियर इन दिस पूना, और आई वेंट टू टेक अ शॉवर बिकॉज ये लाइव था, और मैंने दूध रख दिया गैस पे और दूध पूरा उबल गया। कहाँ से मैंने वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस किया, कैसे मैं लंच चेन्नई को कोई मोटिवेशनल इनपुट दूं, बिकॉज मेरा आधा दूध उबल गया। फिर देन आई टुक शॉवर, आई केम आउट, द मेड केम, द मेड वाज एंग्री, देन आई हैड सम जिग जिग विद द मेड। और इस सब में मेरे दिमाग में क्या चल रहा है, रोहिणी को सवाल कौन सा पूछना है, व्हाट ऑल शुड आई टॉक टू हर, व्हाट विल बी द वाईफाई स्पीड, विल द इंस्टाग्राम हेल्प दिस टाइम, यही चल रहा है दिमाग में। तो देयर वाज जीरो वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस। कुलदीप जी, हेलो कुलदीप। या एलन चिन्ह, आई डोंट नो डिड आई हेल्प यू। मेरी वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस की तो लगी पड़ी है। बीइंग एन एंटरप्रेन्योर एंड बीइंग अ 24/7 वर्क एट होम, समझ में ही नहीं आता है कि मैं मम्मी कब हूँ, मैं बीवी कब हूँ, मैं कोच कब हूँ, मैं बॉस कब हूँ। यार द वर्स्ट पार्ट इज यूर अ बॉस ऑल्सो, सो मैनेज योर टीम, manage your husband, manage him. I should tell you, Diksha, I went first to get some stuff from market and I dropped my wallet at the medical store because my dad called up. Now my dad never calls up at evening 7 o'clock. I was like, पापा ने कॉल किया तो मैंने उठाना ही चाहिए. I picked the phone, I took that medical stuff and I went to the Xerox person. Now मैं जब Xerox person के पास गई दीक्षा, तो वहां पे एक बंदा मुझे पूछता, मैम आपका पर्स है क्या आपके पास? आई वॉज लाइक व्हाट, सी है, आई हैड लॉन्ग पर्स। तो बोलता है नहीं मैम आप चेक करो। तो एक्चुअली माई वॉलेट वॉज लेफ्ट एट दैट मेडिकल स्टोर एंड आई सेड आपको कैसे पता चला? देन ही सेड मुझे पता चल गया, आप चले जाओ उधर। एंड दीक्षा आई वेंट टू दैट मेडिकल स्टोर बैक, तो बोला मैम आप फोन पे लगे थे, आपका वॉलेट इधर रह गया। आई डिडंट वांट टू अपसेट दैट बिकॉज माई डैड नेवर कॉल्स इन इवनिंग, ही ओनली कॉल्स इन मॉर्निंग्स। आई वाज लाइक इवनिंग में काम फोन किया है तो उनको तो नहीं बोल सकते ना मेरा लाइव है रखो। And I picked the call, I left the wallet, then I picked the wallet, and I came home rushing. फिर दूध उबल गया, and then I had to take a shower, फिर मेड का धोचा हो गया, and then this life. But the life was very nice. I am passionate about my work. So जो आपको अच्छे से करना रहता है ना, वो आप हर हाल में करते ही करते हो. So on that note, guys, thank you for being there till the end. Take care, God bless you, and good night.